The Ancient Magus Bride is the latest anime that I have decided to watch through. This is one of those rare gems to me that almost every episode could move me in some way, shape, or form. The way this world is shown to you with each progressing episode keeps you engrossed in a way that I find not too many stories have been able to do for me. There is an almost Studio Ghibli Miyazakian level of storytelling and innocence, while at the same time showing you some very harsh realities that make this an incredible tale. Now, there are some things that you could take away from the Ancient Magus' Bride that might make some people uncomfortable. The one thing that I definitely have to say right off the bat is that there is an age gap between the Ancient Magus and our main character of Chise. However, the way the story tries to tell itself seems to give off the vibe that it knows that it's a little bit out there, and that Elias, the skull-faced dude, seems to be more of a child playing house more than actually being aware of what what this is. All of the other characters are lecturing him about this stuff, and he seems to act like a petulant child in response to them. So that definitely solidifies he's a child playing house. He wants to play house, and he wants to play house his way, and it does do a really good job at showing you that the Elias character, the Ancient Magus, is fallible. He may be an incredible mage, he may be incredibly worldly in regards to textbook knowledge of things, but he has no humanity, hands-on social awareness about a lot of the things. And so this character of Chise, whom he brings into his life, offers that humanity in a way, in a perspective that he has never really felt before. And I can appreciate that type of storytelling, even if it's a little, but at least the story knows it's that, like that. It's a little, even the story knows. So all the characters and all that stuff, they're lecturing him, they're saying this codependency stuff is not exactly good or healthy for either of them, and that she should probably go off to live her life and all that stuff. You can't just keep her cooped up in the house, playing house and all that stuff. And I like that. I do like that there is a conflict, a dynamic, even though it feels like these two characters are helping each other in ways that they do need to be helped. Now, I'm not going to mention that again. I just thought I'd get that out there first off and foremost. The Ancient Magus Bride it feels like a hybrid level of storytelling in some of the best ways. It reminds me of Howl's Moving Castle. It reminds me of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, just the first one. It reminds me of Beauty and the Beast, especially Beauty and the Beast. And in those types, especially with the Beauty and the Beast thing, it gives off this Grimm's fairy tales type of atmosphere, with a little bit of Miyazaki and Disney magic thrown in. And it's really well done. I just have to say that. There's a lot of European folklore and fae creatures in this show, and I do think that the anime does a really good portrayal of all of these creatures and whimsical realms. Titania and Oberon are here. There's the fairy world. There's Leanon Cheese, and all sorts of other creatures that I can't remember the names of. But it's not the first time a Japanese show has tried to do this. There's also Persona, Shin Megami Tensei. There's a bunch of those things going on, So it's nothing new in that regards. But I do like this world. I just have to say that right off the bat. I do love this world. Every episode takes you somewhere new. And from the perspective of Chise, she is new to everything in this world, basically. So you're getting to see it from a perspective of her, the audience character, and that's really well done. I love that introductory phase to the world and how she can find some really good appreciation to the things that's going on around her. There are some really existential things, though, but I'm not going to spend too much time talking about that because I really want you to see this. This is really good, and I would definitely say that. It does have 3 OVA episodes, though, so if you haven't, if you have access to this streaming-wise, just be aware there are 3 OVA episodes that may not exactly be paired with this. The 24 episodes in this season are dubbed in English. The 3 OVA episodes are not dubbed in English. And the OVA episodes belong right spank in the middle. The first 12 episodes happen, then the 3 OVA episodes happen, and then the next 12 episodes happen. That's the order you should watch that in. What's next? The characters. We have the character of Chise, who opens this anime, who opens this story at the absolute worst in her life. She has been orphaned, abandoned by her father, and her mother. Her memories of trauma and PTSD with that have really hyperbolized what her mother has done to her and traumatized her with, and then her mother took her own life. And she has been passed around from family member to family member who didn't want her, and she really felt like she was worthless to the world, and she was ready to give up. And that's when somebody convinces her instead to sell, to go into an auction to become something to be purchased, slavery, buying and selling of human trafficking, all that stuff. But at first it doesn't really explain to you what that means and why she exactly does this, but by the second or third episode they do start to tell you what a slay beggy is. I still think the word slay beggy is a weird term, but hey, I didn't write this though. Slay Beggy is a character that acts as the best analogy I could say is a lit lantern in an incredibly dark forest, and this extremely bright lantern gives off such a powerful and warm light that everything in the forest, from the insects to the moths to the spiders, all this stuff gets drawn to this lantern, and they just want to be around this lantern. That's what a slay beggy is. They have this magical radiance that draws the fey creatures to them, but this powerful magic that wells within them, they have a frail human body, so they don't exactly live that long, but they are valued by all of the Fae, and they want to help her and all that stuff, and it's really nice. It's a really nice story, but her child self was scared of all of these Fae creatures, and nobody was there to teach her about these Fae creatures, so that's kind of sad, kind of sad that she didn't really get the upbringing that she deserved. So she opens it up being purchased by Elias Ainsworth, a half-human, half-fae magus, an ancient magus, if you will. Although I would say that he's more of a... he has had 2 previous mentors. One of them we get to meet, and the other one we get to only briefly see in a flashback. The one we get to meet is Lindell, who is the caretaker to the Dragon Eyrie in Iceland. I think it's Iceland. And Lindell treats Chise immediately like a granddaughter type of archetype. He immediately welcomes her into the family. I just want to say how a lot of the characters in Elias's life are immediately taken to Chise and are focused on her well-being as a person, not as a commodity, but as a person. And that is something that she's not used to, being valued as a person. And I found that to be really beautiful, that from this first episode being at your absolute lowest and ending this season feeling like you have a sense of self-worth, that you feel like you belong here, it really delivers a really heartwarming message. And almost every episode has a moment where you will be hit in the feels, man. This is an up and down roller coaster of a show, man. And I definitely liked it. I wouldn't say that this is 100% a romance. I would say romance is it's part of the story, but it's not the main focus. The main focus is more about finding your place in the world, learning your self-worth, and learning that you may not be able to help everybody because you may not be able to. The character of Chise is incredibly selfless. She will help somebody even if it kills her because she has so little sense of self-worth, but she wants other people to be happy and all that stuff. And that's really sweet and all with the intentions, but other characters are berating her that she shouldn't be so selfless to the point where she harms herself. She should take better care of herself, and she should want to take better care of herself. She should want to look after herself and all that stuff. And all of the characters that she meets, from Lindell to Angelica, who is another mage, kind of an apprentice of Elias's back in the past. She's all grown up now, she's married, she has a child of her own, and she acts very motherly towards Chise, and she scolds Elias constantly for being an absent-minded prick, basically. As soon as Angelica learned that he purchased Chise at an auction, at a magic auction. This is the Magic World auction, so their laws might be a little different from ours, so who knows. But he purchases her at this auction, and when Angelica learns that, she smacks him and punches him right in the face, man. And that's beautiful. And she lectures him about how that's not what you should do. You don't buy people, and so Angelica scolds Elias, and she's immediately taken with Chise. It takes her in as if she's her own daughter, and she even says so multiple times. And it really hits you how these characters really care for her as a person. And if you have relatability to that, then that might really hit you as well, and it's like, wow, this person actually really cares, and it really can be emotional, and it's, I'm sorry, I'm not really eloquent right now, but I really valued those types of moments when you see these people actually value this person as a character, even though they haven't really done too much to this person. It's just your existence alone is valid to this person, and you belong here and all that stuff, and they want you to belong here. They want you to want to value yourself and all that stuff, and it really helps her improve as a person. And I thought that was incredible storytelling. I thought the world building as well was incredible as well. The only thing that I'm on the nose that I'm a little bit I'm a little bit iffy with is the Elias character. He is an ancient magus, and yet he acts like a spoiled child. He acts like a child playing house. He's like this child who looks at the world and he sees all these families and says, you know what, I want one of those things. But he has no idea how to get it. He has no idea how to get one of those things. So he just sees this person up there on the podium and he says, you know what, I want that one. So he buys her. And then he goes like, you know what, I want that one as my bride. He has no idea. He acts like he has no idea of human society at all. And yet he's an ancient magus. How old are you, Elias? You should know right from wrong by now. But I don't know how he has gone on this long not knowing these things, but it is a part of the story that Chise has to teach Elias the rules of human society, and what emotions are in a sort of physical sense, because Elias starts to feel emotions, real emotions, for the first time in his life, and he has no idea what these things are, feeling wise. And so he explains what those feelings are to Chise, and Chise has to explain to him what those feelings could mean. For example, this one definitely gives off Beauty and the Beast vibes. Chise gets to spend a few days with Lyndall up in Iceland at the Eyrie to create her wand, her magic wand staff thing. And Elias spends that weekend by himself at his home. And to us, we know he starts to feel lonely, but he doesn't know what that feeling means. He doesn't even know what that feeling feels like. He just tells Chise that he felt cold in her absence, and now that she's back, it feels warm. And he asks her what that means. He wants to know what that means. He's generally like a child asking her, what does that mean? And so she says, that's probably loneliness. And so he's like fascinated with that feeling. He's like a scientist looking at emotions fascinated. He is fascinated by these feelings that he's feeling and all that stuff, but he's very selfish about these things as well. So it's an interesting take on the character, and I appreciate and I can respect where they take the character and how they get him to come to the conclusions that he comes to. But he does genuinely seem to care about her, but it does feel like a codependency type of thing, where they are relying on each other for their own well-being when they need to start to learn to rely on themselves, by themselves, as people, rather than just be stuck to each other. You know, they should be together because they want to be together, but they should be able to handle themselves by themselves. And Chise seems to be able to do that a lot better than Elias does. He is very prone to jealousy, like a child. There's a moment in this show where Chise makes a friend, and Elias has this venomous hatred towards this friend. He's almost like a Yondir type of character. But it's because he's afraid that Chise will no longer need him anymore, and that she'll leave him, and that's what he's afraid of. They both have this abandonment issue, and for Chise, definitely it's because of her parents walking out on her. And Elias, I don't know, because he's been alive for so long, who knows, he's been by himself for so long, and now that he's finally found somebody that he could value as a person, he doesn't want that person to leave him, yada yada yada. But it's a good story, and I would definitely say both the Japanese dub and the English dub are worth checking out. The English dub is very well acted. The actors for Elias and Chise are incredible. They give the actress for Chise gives her a depth and a vulnerability to her that you can really relate to. And the guy who voices Elias has this knowledge and wise experience and cultured voice, but it feels like it sounds fabricated, like it's artificial, like it's a creature playing at being a person. And that's exactly what this is. This is Elias was like a monstrous figure until he met Lyndall, and he became more humanoid as a result. And then when he meets Chise, he's all sophisticated, trying at playing human. He really is a beast playing at being human, and it really does give that Beauty and the Beast vibe off. And I definitely would say that this is a show you need to take a look at.